Hiya. You're about to see a video that I just did on talking to mean parts and how to deal with that. In this video, I use a healing technique called emotional freedom technique, which is using tapping on the ends of meridians. And I use these points, side of hand, wrist point, baseline, at the bottom of the finger, side of the thumb, and analogously on all the other fingers. So when you see this happening, no, it's not a strange twitch. This is actually part of the healing. So enjoy the video, and that's it for now. Hiya, I'm Shoshana, Dr. Shoshana Garfield, and the thing I want to talk to you right now is about dealing with really mean parts. And I've had it so often over the years, either with my own personal experience or with countless clients, that they'll either present as voices in your head, ranging from calling you names like stupid, which, by the way, is a very kind of common experience. People without severe trauma often deal with inner voices that are mean. So, for instance, saying you're stupid, you're no good, oh, you won't do this, oh, he's not interested, oh, she's not interested, oh, it'll never work. This kind of really kind of down talk. It's really, really common in the human species. So this is really quite a normal thing. And most people spend their whole lives just ignoring the voices or living by them, even worse, and not dealing with them. One of the gifts of severe trauma is that when you commit to your healing journey, you commit to clearing out that whole mess of voices, even the ones that so-called normal people put up with, okay? And here's the thing with those voices. Sometimes they can get very extreme. They can even do things like tell you, come on, go ahead, burn yourself. You deserve it, things like that. So cancel that off. You don't deserve it. You deserve a clean and healthy, happy life. And those voices can come from different places. And one of the things I want to talk about is something that this guy Fairburn came up with, a term called moral defense. And what that is when really young kids, or any child really, is faced with extreme badness, one of the things that they do to retain a sense of sanity in their world, to make sense of the world, they turn it round and they make themselves the bad guys. And so part of those internal voices is that moral defense coming to the fore, still making sense of a rotten childhood, saying, right, this is how I need the world to stay stable and together by being really hard on myself and down on myself. Another source of it, with severe trauma, there's this thing called introjection, where we take in something from outside. And the feelings of powerlessness that can come up in extreme abuse can indeed be very, very overwhelming. It's the nature of trauma is that it is overwhelming. One of the ways of defending against that overwhelm is actually to take in the voices of the abusers. Now, this can happen even just with a one-off event. With severe trauma that's chronic over time, it's even more likely to happen. So some of the voices you hear could well be introjected voices of abusers. They say, okay, so when I detoxify the trauma of this, those voices will just kind of go. Or even knowing now, even before I heal these voices and the trauma underneath, just knowing that these voices come from that trauma, my very reasonable desire to have some kind of power in my life, maybe I can already start to let them go. Sometimes what happens is that a part can be so wounded that they think of themselves as bad and twisted so profoundly that if you were to tune in and get a visual of them, they might present as twisted or foul or ghoulish or even demonic. And these parts are really just hurt little children. The hurt little children in the costumes they think they're supposed to be wearing. And so when you come across a part in yourself that's being really hard on you, taunting you, the first thing to do, we do a lot of EFT. I do a lot of EFT in my work, emotional freedom technique, and tap for accepting that inner part. So you say something along the lines of, and by the way, who knows how even just watching this may be of profound value to you, yeah, and give you deep healing. And if you tap along to it, okay, I see you, inner part, or I hear you, or inner self, or inner child. And I'm so sorry you had to go through all this pain. And you're presenting yourself as demonic, or twisted, or ghoulish. And I want you to know that I see through that, even if you don't yet. Because I'm here to tell you something really important. You're far more whole and beautiful than you can imagine right now. And I'm taking care of you now in the best way that I can. And I'm so sorry you've been alone for so long and in so much pain. What's happened is that the pain has twisted your ability to see yourself clearly. So I see you clearly for the two of us right now. I see you clearly for the two of us. And things can be all right. And they might reply with, I hate you. Really sound like they mean it. And so you say in return something along the lines of, I hear that you're telling me you hate me. And what I hear you say underneath that is you are desperate to be loved. You are desperate to have something you don't think you deserve. And I'm here to tell you actually you do deserve it. They may say things like, go away! In which case you respond, thank you for telling me you want me to go away. And I need to tell you that, of course, I respect your need to go at whatever pace is right for you. Of course. And at the same time, I refuse to abandon you. That's happened long enough, don't you think? So, of course, I can come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. But I'm not going away. I'm not going to leave you alone again with all this horrible pain. You deserve better. You deserve better. Sometimes they wind up saying things like, I hate you for understanding me. And then you can say things like, I hear that you're feeling really ashamed of being seen. And I'm with you here without judgment, but with unconditional acceptance. And I'm here to help you ease that hate. And I'm here. Just engage them. Use the insight. And keep tapping while you speak with them. And sometimes what happens is that it doesn't budge anything. You'll be tapping and then just kind of get more and more furious. One of two things possibly are happening there. Now there's something, as a bit of a sideline before we continue with this, something that's called the Edict Position, ETIC. And what that really means is, quite frankly, intellectual and emotional humility. The Edict Position says, well, there are some things that we just can't prove. For instance, the existence of a divinity or a god or whatever, or even the existence of demons. We don't know. We just don't know. We don't have the technology, we haven't got the means, people have strong beliefs about it one way or another, but at the end of the day, we just don't know. And that's all there is to it. Clients present with all kinds of things. I myself had either a psychotic episode or something where I saw a demon at the end of my bed. Was there a demon there, like a real demon from hell thing at the end of my bed? Or was it a projection from my own unconscious mind luring me into insanity that hopefully you notice I resisted? And I don't know. How could I possibly know? I can say I believe one thing or the other, but at the end of the day, I don't know. And I'm not going to be so arrogant as to say, well, I'm going to say it's this. Haven't a clue. Haven't a clue. So there are some parts that you'll tap on and respond that actually don't respond like parts really need to respond. So maybe there's something else going on here. Is it an energy parasite, like an energy-based virus? Is it a demon? I don't know. I don't know. But like any kind of virus, you develop antibodies and the things all die throughout you and it's no longer present and that's it. So there's something about removing from your energy that needs to happen. Some of these mean voices are voices that need to be removed instead of healed. The thing is that, like with OCD and PTSD, there are opposite ways of dealing with it. With parts that are in immense pain, so immense they present themselves as demonic, they need healing. With energies that are in you that are taunting you and punishing you with their voices that don't respond to healing, maybe those are energies that need to be removed. And there are ways of dealing with that. The thing is to know that there are different ways of dealing with it, and there are strategies in place, and these are strategies that work. And Again, I can't say I know exactly what's happening, but I do know if I use the working hypothesis that these are energies to be removed wherever they come from, and generally I work within the belief structure of the person that's with me. If they want to think of them as demons, then fine, we'll work with demons. If they want to think of them as viruses, fine, we'll think of them as viruses. Doesn't matter to me, doesn't matter to the client at the end of the day, and it certainly doesn't matter for the outcome of the treatment because it always works. So just to let you know, there are things you can start doing right now to start tapping on really hurt parts that are twisted in their pain. And to know that these other things going on are things that can be dealt with well. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.